Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because Nashville country soul recording artist Brei Carter is back today and is set to electrify your ears with her new upcoming 7-song EP, A Brei Of Fresh Air, due out in October across all major digital music streaming platforms. But you gotta dive into the irresistible groove of one of my favorite tracks, Sun Still Shining, where the feel-good, infectious countrypolitan vibe will remind you that no matter the storm, your sun never stops shining. But then get ready to strut your stuff to the bold and daring anthem, Cake and Eat It Too, a track that screams liberation and pure, unfiltered sass with a capital S that was inspired by her spirited Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority sisters and women around the world. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome back Nashville country soul recording artist Brei Carter and her new upcoming EP to the show. Welcome back, Brei.
Thank you so much. It is so good to be here with you. I've been watching you and I've been waiting for this moment for us to get together again. And I tell you, it is a treat.
I know it. And ladies and gentlemen, Brei and I follow each other on social media. And believe it or not, before the interview, we were just talking how it had been 2 years since we had been on camera together. But because we follow each other so much on social media, it just seems like it happened yesterday. And Brei, I mean, your career is literally just going up and up and up. What have you been doing lately besides, I know we're going to talk about the brand new EP, but what's been going on last couple of years?
You know what? I've just been sticking hard to my craft, putting in the time, putting in the work, just making sure that I'm listening to the fans and my friends and my family, and just trying to put good music out there. And honestly, just trying to celebrate every day of life. I say every day that we're living, it's a treat just to be here. And I think I owe it to myself and the world to make sure every day I'm giving the best that I can. So that's what I've been working on. I've been working on Brei over here, trying to just be a better version of myself.
Well, you know what, through the last couple of years, I listened to every single that you put out. And for you, what has been the growth in the last 2 years for you? Is it more of finding the right musical groove, finding a place where your music reaches more people? What have you been learning?
You know what? You hit the nail right on the head because it's been a combination of things. It's been, finding the right music, finding what's the right groove, finding what's moving the people, what's allowing more people to come together and unite. And I think I've just finally found it. And being also true to my roots of Louisiana, trying to add that to it, a little bit of soul. And I like to say I'm just creating gumbo over here. I'm blending it all together. I'm from the South, creating this good country soul gumbo for the people. And I think that's been the thing. And I've started working with a couple of other producers and what have you. And I think everything just coming full circle. But I think one of the most important things I could attribute it to is me finally getting out of my own way. There's always more than one way to do things, just being receptive and listening to wise counsel and making decisions based on that and not necessarily emotions. I think that's led me to the place where I am today.
You said a lot there because I know with a lot of recording artists, emotion can get into the way when there are top rated producers that can actually see your talent in a different way where you may not be able to see it, and then they can pull out something extra, something very special that maybe you didn't know was actually inside you. And sometimes we got to put emotion to the side and then
Exactly.
just like you said, and I love the two words, take wise counsel, take time to listen, and maybe just step out of the box, which I believe you actually did because you took a very unorthodox approach to your new EP, which I find for you probably easier now, especially with country music, incorporates so many different genres now that, people putting the country label on almost anything, but you still kept that vibe going because with this new EP, It's very different from your previous work. And I love it that you really stepped outside the musical box. So tell me about this new EP.
I think you have to be willing to step out of the box sometimes. I mean, we're all evolving here on this earth. We're trying to navigate and find our way. So you have to be willing to, like said, they say if you want something you've never had, you got to be willing to do something you've never done. And obviously, it's definitely a cliche, but it is stepping out the box. And I think that's what I did with a Brei Of Fresh Air with all the songs. I stayed true to the country that's in me, so you hear that in everything. So I just want to put it out there. I am country soul first and foremost. The country comes in the soul, and everything kind of just gels together. But yeah, I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to on a Brei Of Fresh Air. I wanted to create a good project, with the producers that I'm working with now, just to so you do get a Brei Of Fresh Air, and you see the different facets of my life and my voice all coming together to create these tunes.
Well, were there any particular artist that you drew some inspiration from for the new EP?
You know what? I would say getting together with the producer, Electro Horse, that actually has done quite a few of the songs on the EP, along with Jimmy Ritchie, and I actually have one on there that I've co-produced myself. So all of those things just coming together, I think, just really, just once again listening, things just kind of really just found its way to what I was being told.
Well, I listened to one of your current singles, Cake and Eat It Too. It has attitude, but has one funky, groovy beat. I mean, it is great to hear that someone still believes in using bass that thumps. So, what's the story behind the song?
Oh, hey, you want your cake and eat it too. It's true. I mean, you go through relationships, and sometimes enough isn't enough. Someone may have a wandering eye, want to do their own thing, or think that they can take advantage and that you'll always be there. But enough is enough. It came from talking to some of my sorority sisters, Alpha Kappa Alpha, sorority sisters, and also other friends. So sometimes I draw inspiration from other people's story that, hey, you know what? Enough is enough. You are enough by yourself. And I think that's what I want to drive home. You know what? You can't have your cake and eat it too. There has to be respect, there has to be love. And if you're not going to give it to me, I'm going to give it to myself. So that's what it comes down to.
I love that. This song again really steps outside of country music. Are you aiming to cross over into other genres like maybe the soul charts? Because I find that this song is also perfect for the R&B charts as well.
So you're reading my mind. This is a great crossover song, and that was the goal, to be able to cross pollinate, into the different genres and what have you. I think you hit the nail right on the head. Soul. I think it falls in the new line of what they're doing called Southern Soul these days now. So it falls right aligned into Southern Soul. So definitely, I'm trying to cross over, and it taps into the pop world a little bit. So it's kind of just bringing it all together. Hey, I got music for everyone to love, to come together and get to moving.
It's funny. I was listening to just the other day. I was listening to some of the Ohio players, Rick James. I mean, you can even pick up some of Nile Rodgers, and this song, Cake and Eat It Too. And I'm about to stick my hand inside the beehive, so I got to be careful here. But when I was listening to this song, and I listened to this song over and over and over, and it almost made me go, Beyonce, who? Because,
Oh,
and I truly mean that. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're a Beyonce fan, that's great. Be fans. I mean, look, hey, there's a lot of great music out there, but you got to hear this song. I mean, every time I play it, you just want to start grooving to it because, like I said, it is so good to hear somebody actually realize that bass needs to be in a song.
I'm sure Electro Horse would definitely appreciate that. He's like, man, if it ain't thumping, we got to have the bass. He was like, I need a little bit more of it. So as we were mixing and mastering and what have you, he's like, no, we need to change this up. Wait a minute, which version are we going to use? So I thought it was kind of, it was funny in a sense of him saying we got to have all that bass in there, and kind of saying exactly what you're saying.
Well, and the mixing of that song is fantastic because with bass, you don't want it having to come across too out front, and you don't want it muddy, but it comes across perfect in this song, and it's right there. I mean, when you're singing it, you're picking up every word that you're singing, and you're picking up the bass and the rhythm in this song. Even though I love the song "Sun Still Shining," but man, "Cake and Eat It Too," that is just a song to get your groove on.
Why, thank you. A lot of, actually, I've heard that a lot lately, so that really makes me feel good. So thank you.
Well, I want to move on to that next single that I truly love, "Sun Still Shining." That one is a breath of fresh air. I mean, it's like your hair blowing in the wind driving a convertible. But you worked with Bill McDermott on this song. What was it like working with him?
Oh my goodness, Bill McDermott is amazing. He is, I mean, he's like a quiet storm. The guy is so talented. For me, it was just a blessing to be able to grace his studio, just to be there, and for him to kind of vocal produce and direct me. But no, I absolutely love Bill, and I can't wait to one day get back in the studio with him. It was good. He's a great guy. He knows his stuff. He knew what he was going for. He was like, okay, no, we need to do a little rest. Okay, come back here. This is what we need to do. This is what I need. So no, he was great at directing, and I absolutely love that song. He actually did another song. It's not on this EP, but you'll hear it soon enough.
Well, that's good. Now, I'm interested to know because you had, I guess you had multiple producers for this EP.
Yes.
By having multiple producers versus someone doing a full LP where there's just one producer for the whole record, what's the experiences like of working with multiple producers for this collection of songs?
So you know what? It hasn't been bad. It's actually been really good. It's been a Brei of Fresh Air. It's been refreshing, to say the least, in the fact that different producers, they hear different things within my voice, and just honestly musically. So when you look at "Sun Is Still Shining" with Bill McDermott, he has a view on how he typically creates music and creating it for my voice. Electro Horse did it a different way. Jimmy Ritchie, he came in and he did something totally different on "Country Lives in Me," and I'm sure you heard that on the EP if Jason shared it with you. But literally everyone's heard something different, and they've been able to hit the sweet spots of what they hear in my voice across the board. But no, it's been pretty good. I like it.
Well, if you had, let's say, as an example, you had three, and each one created their own vision for the song, who has the final say in the end?
I do. So in a sense, I do, in the fact that obviously being the artist and what have you, they're the producer, taking wise counsel, but obviously they defer to me if I'm adamant about something. But when you go to someone and you're paying them for their skill, you got to trust in what they're saying. Obviously, have an opinion, be involved in it, but you got to trust them in the end to say, hey, boom, I'm looking at what's best for your voice, what's best for the radio, different things like that. So taking all those things into consideration. But they honestly, at the end of it, they defer to me. And because I trust them, obviously, if I'm working with them, I'm gonna let them, although they say I have the final decision, I think in the end they truly do.
It's funny because if you go back just with the country genre alone, and minus the 1970s, but if you listen to 1980s country, I mean, Randy Travis, Ronnie Millsap, Alabama, the list goes on. Then you had the 1990s country. Then you had the early 2000s country. And with each decade, you can hear how those groups of songs have a very similar sound. So a lot of the producers and the record labels were following trends. I'm noticing now that we don't see a trend at all. And like you call it gumbo, and I'm thinking that's exactly what's going on now. Everybody's coming into country from a very different perspective, coming in on a different road, riding in town on a different horse, because there is just not that same sound that we're used to hearing decade after decade when it comes to country. And I think that's probably a plus working to your benefit.
I would definitely agree. Like I said, everyone hears something a little bit different, and I think the big consensus amongst all the producers that I've been working with lately is everyone wants to create feel good music. There's so much going on in this world, so much hurt, so much division. They want to make music that creates a feeling and experience that honestly unites more than separates.
Yeah, I do miss sad country songs. I don't think we have enough. And when I mean sad, I mean, they were always based on part ballad, and we don't hear a lot of that anymore. And I'm not going to mention the artist's name, but this one particular country artist, he could release a sad country song, and you're just blown away by it. But then he got married, and I'm like, now everything's all happy. So I'm just like, we need, I don't know what's going on. We just, sometimes you just got to mix it up a bit.
You're
But
right.
I do kind of miss that because, I listen to a lot of music, and there's a lot of songs out there. I'm like, ah, okay. But I do agree with you. We do need a lot of those happier, well, I don't want to say happier, feel good,
Feel
soul
good.
reaching songs, because in a way that allows us an escape with what's going on around us. So
For
I agree with you there. But then you had an earlier single release from the EP, Boots Get to Talking. This song really, it gave you a new sound and a new tone for this whole EP. I mean, the three songs that I've had the pleasure to listen, I mean, they're all songs that you can dance to. I mean, was that something that you aimed for, or did it just happen?
it just kind of happened like that. We're gonna have to make sure you get that EP in your hand soon, because I got one that's gonna tug on those heartstrings a little bit. I know what you mean there, and that's although I say it's gonna tug on the heartstrings, it's still that feel good. So it's that nostalgic feeling that you get with listening to some of the music. But yeah, the goal was get people moving, get people feeling good, and get the catchy tunes, the catchy hooks, and what have you, so people can't get these songs out of their minds. I had someone yesterday say, "Oh my goodness, I cannot stop singing Cake and Eat It Too and Boots." And then even a friend of mine, her granddaughter is 4 years old, and her granddaughter is always talking about Boots Get to Talking. She's created a remix for the song already. She sent me different video clips on Instagram, and I've shared a couple of them of her in her full gear with her boots, her cowboy hat, her little skirt. I just think it's amazing. Let them boots get to talking, baby, all night, all day long.
Well, who is the gentleman on the album on that song?
So it's featured and produced by Electro Horse. So we actually wrote that song together. So initially, most of that song, because we added to it, it was written for another artist. And when I decided to start working with him, he was just like, Brei, because there was another song he had I wanted. He was like, no, I think this is the right song for you. So hence listening to wise counsel, I said, you know what, let's do it. So we tweaked it. I got a chance to write in like the last verse of the song because we wanted to bring a little bit of Tina Turner to it and kind of added up some things and just really put that harmonica in there and what have you. But yeah, it's Electro Horse. He had a lot to do with that. And
You
he's
know,
featured in it.
yeah, and gosh, it's been a few months. I mean, Electro Horse and I were talking through Instagram because I was trying to set up an interview with him. He was ready to go. My schedule completely changed. My calendar is like jammed. So I'm trying to find a little breathing space because I want to get back with him so we can talk about your album and of course a lot of the stuff that he does himself. And because these songs, I think you raised the bar in your own career with these collection of songs. For
Thank
you
you.
being a black country soul artist, are more doors opening up for more black country artists?
You know what? I would say more doors are definitely opening up. I think what Beyonce did coming in with her country album, allowing other Black artists to be on that platform, gave more awareness. They said that the Western sales had gone up higher. I guess in that month, the months that she actually was promoting her album and what have you, Cowboy Carter, than I guess I don't know how many decades. It's just a huge surge of just the music going out the doors and the boots and the Western wear across the board. So I think overall doors are opening, but I really choose for me instead of saying, "Oh, I'm a black country artist." You know what? I'm a country soul artist. And I like to focus more on that because I grew up not necessarily seeing color. We all know that there's different shades to us as Americans because I say I'm an American as Americans, and it's just focusing on me as a person, as a maybe as a woman because that's what it is, and just trying to create the best music. So not necessarily focusing, oh, well, we have another black country artist, country soul artist. Oh, we have Brei Carter. She's a country soul artist. I like kind of being known more as that than it having to be everything tied to the color aspect of it. If that
I
makes
I I 100% agree with you, Bree, and because I watch multiple genres of music to see if there are musical trends going on, what type of new artists are entering in there. I think country is probably the strongest music genre overall right now. Pop, a lot of people will say, rock is dead, and it pretty much is when it comes if you compare it to radio.
Mhm.
Pop is the one that's dying right before our eyes. And, because nobody knows what genre to put Taylor Swift in anymore, because a lot of her stuff doesn't sound country anymore. But,
Mhm.
I mean, do you keep maybe a small eye on the other musical genres to see what's going on over there?
I do a little bit, but where I am in my career right now overall, I'm just trying to be the best over here. So I'm really studying what I'm doing. I tell people sometimes people say life is too short. I just say life is too precious. And if you're limited on time, so I'm not so much into what they're doing with pop, what they're doing with rap or rock or what have you. Although I like actually, there's a time and a moment where I like all music. Sometimes I may not want to hear any rock or any rap. I may just want to hear country or soul or gospel. But yeah, I do a little bit, but not a whole lot, honestly, overall as a genre. That kind of keeps my mind fresh in the goals that in the path that I'm on.
That's one of the things that a lot of people don't may not know this about country music, but back in the day when they would debut a brand new album, the last song was always gospel.
You read my mind. So, and that's the thing on the EP. But once the full album is released, you'll actually get that. I'm just afraid that by the time the EP comes out, because everything is pretty much put together, the gospel song that I've chosen for this, I'll go. It's called "I'll Go the Distant." It's in the process of being recorded. But yeah, that is you're spot on. Having that tribute song to God, and I tell people, I'm like, I'm not perfect by no means, but I'm strong in my faith, my belief in God. I don't put it on anyone, but I don't shy away from what it means to me, if that makes sense.
Oh, makes perfect sense, and I just love that. Sometimes if you bring in a little bit of tradition when it comes to an album, there are people that will know, and then there will be people that will end up being blessed and not really understand why. But I always like that little added touch that country used to do back in the day. Now you are heading to Whiskey Jam. What is that going to be like?
Oh my goodness. It's going to be epic. It's going to be a night to remember. I've been wanting to do this for years. I kind of like to say every country artist in Nashville or elsewhere, it's kind of like a rite of passage to be able to do Whiskey Jam, Word Gunther over there. Just him allowing me, I'm like the stars, the skies aligned. It's now my time to actually shine on that stage, and it's going to be energetic. It's going to be a showstopper. We're going to have lots of dancing. I'm going to do my line dance. Boots get to talking, and I'm doing all the new songs on the for the performance.
Oh, see, that's what I love about your new EP is that all of the songs are perfect to play live.
For sure. And the band, oh my goodness, let me tell you, the band, I got the background singers that's going to be right there to harmonize, to bring it all together. I will say I am truly blessed to be able to do this, and I'm so excited and I can't wait.
Well, without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to rock that stage. And everybody who isn't a Brei Carter fan yet is going to be once you finish that set at Whiskey Jam. Now, I know that you had launched a blog called Music is Medicine. Are you still doing that?
I'm still doing it. Music definitely is medicine. Medicine, I mean, music heals. It soothes the soul. And I'm just a fond believer of that. You know, I've worked in the medical field for many years, but the blog is just kind of, it takes it home and it gives people perspective. And, you know, say someone has physical ailments and what have you. It's been shown studies, there are countless studies out there on music healing the body. It's healed cancer. I mean, and I know some people say it's fear fetched, but music does something to the soul, and it regenerates cells and what have you. So there is some truth. I've actually put it to the test myself. And even sometimes we talk about, you know, you were saying earlier, the heartstring music where you want to, you know, you don't want the sad song. It's something about certain instrumentation that's taking place that actually does something to your body. Even if you don't want to be sad but you want to hear some music, sometimes it's nostalgic to take you back to a place, to some good memories. Every sad song isn't necessarily about a bad memory. It takes you back to a place, and it could take you back to some good times. So it does different things for different people. I mean, it helps with autism, with depression, bipolar. It's done a whole lot. I mean, it's been shown to help with people with heart disease and what have you, and cardiac issues. So there is
Yeah,
definitely.
there is because I recently, I think it's been less than a month now, I did an interview with a recording artist that actually wrote a very exhaustive music therapy research book. And you're saying the same thing. Music alone is therapy for those that are dealing with pain issues, depression, other mental health issues, cancer. The list goes on. So yeah, music is definitely medicine. And you're right. It's also based on, it could be frequencies. It could be based on, it's like, if we pull up um, an album or a certain type of song, we know instantly how it affects us from a spirit level, from a soul level, to a mental level. We feel that immediately. Like there are certain songs that are my go-to songs that, hey, I want to start my day. I want to get energized. And there are those that maybe I'm working on an interview script that is deep. And sometimes you kind of pick the music that goes along with that just to kind of, I guess, aid the creativity in that work. So, yeah, music is absolute power, but it's absolute healing as well.
I completely agree. It just makes a difference. And the other thing that I really love about it is it unites people. It brings people together. I tell people music has no color, you know, it has no boundaries. Music just does, and music is love.
That is, and music is color. Boy, you know, it's what I call invisible color. The moment we hear a
Right.
song, we can just we can see things in our brain that maybe we didn't see before. But it's color to our ears. I guess that maybe that
I
makes
like
sense for some.
I like that. Actually, I think you hit the nail on the head. I really
Yeah,
like.
well, for you, knowing that your brand new EP, a Brei Of Fresh Air, debuts in October, what else are you working on this year?
Just lots of tours. I'm getting out there, boots to the ground. I mean, hopefully coming to a place, a city near you or in your city. The big thing is just honestly just getting out there with the fans, with family, friends, showing love and get my music out there. I have no problems, and I always say whether it's a crowd of 10 or a crowd of 10,000, you're going to get the best of me. I think you deserve it. I owe it to myself to make sure that I'm giving my all. Every time I get the opportunity, I tell people, I said, it's something sometimes we say, I have to do this, I have to do that, or what have you. It's not that you have to do it, you get to do it. It's an opportunity. So I just choose to look at things a little bit different today. And I get to get out there and do lots of music. So it's more creating more music and just getting out, putting the music out there, and hopefully getting some endorsements along the way.
Well, yeah, you said a friend of mine, he always tells me, you get to. And with creative people like you, things that I do, we can't ever say that I have to do this because we get to, because we created this. We
For sure.
created this road that we are on, so we have to enjoy our own journey.
Completely agree. You're so right. So I love that. So I'm just showing more gratitude. And my mom says there are lots of people that would love to trade places with you. So sometimes you think you're dealing with something, or oh my goodness, this is going on. Be thankful and grateful. There's a lot of people that would love to trade places and wear your shoes.
Yeah, amen to that. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you one thing, you will need to put your dancing shoes on because you have got to check out the brand new singles from Brei. Boots Get to Talking, Cake and Eat It Too, which I will tell you, it is groovy, it's thumping, and you will put that song on repeat. That's a guarantee. And the Feel Good Sun Still Shining, oh my gosh. If you just want to kick back, feel good, put a set of headphones on, that's the song you want to chill to. But guess what? More is coming in October. I love these songs and they will get you to grooving and moving to a whole new beat. And Brei, I want to thank you for coming back today and sharing some of these amazing new songs. And again, your career is on a rocket and it's just heading upwards.
Hey, I'm ready to go all the way to the top. Take me there. Yes, Lord. But thank you so much, Dr. Urban. I love you. I appreciate you so much. Continue to do what you're doing. You're shining your light so bright, and you make a know that you really make a difference in you having these shows and what have you. And you do bring a lot of joy and awareness and happiness to the world. So just keep on shining your light bright.
Hey, I will do that, Brei. And for all of my viewers and listeners, uh, you can give me your website real quick. I want everyone to go there to uh, catch up with all of your music, your tour dates, the merch, everything. I want them to become big Brei Carter fans because I'm already one.
I love it. It's breicarter.com. That's BreiCarter.com, breicarter.com. And it's Brei Carter on all the socials out there, all the platforms.
Hey, fantastic. So again, ladies and gentlemen, head over to breicarter.com. We have it at the bottom of your screen. And again, check out all of her music. Get ready for the brand new EP that will debut in October, but she's already releasing some songs, so you can enjoy those right now. Find out when she's coming to your area. Buy a ticket. Go see her. Dance along with all of her songs because, again, there's no way on earth that you'll be able to stand still when she brings these songs live to you. Seriously, you're going to be grooving and a moving, just like I said, to a whole brand new beat. And I am so thankful for artists like Brei Carter that steps outside that musical box and brings us something, well, fresh to listen to. And a brand new EP, a Brei of Fresh Air, well, in every sense of the word, it truly is. So I want to thank you for all of you watching and listening. So have a blessed and great day, and I'll see you next time.